Have you ever looked at someone who is clearly intelligent and wondered why they never seem to move forward? Maybe you've seen people with impressive degrees, incredible knowledge, or amazing ideas who somehow remain stuck in the same place year after year. They know more than most people around them. They understand the principles of success. They can explain exactly what needs to be done. Yet their lives often look surprisingly similar from one year to the next. Meanwhile, other people with less knowledge, fewer credentials, and sometimes even less talent seem to make steady progress. Why does this happen? The answer has very little to do with intelligence. In fact, intelligence can sometimes become a hidden obstacle to growth. The very qualities that make someone smart can also create the conditions that keep them stuck. Today, we're exploring the hidden reasons why smart people stay stuck for years, and more importantly, what separates those who eventually move forward from those who remain trapped in the same cycle. The intelligence trap. Most people believe that intelligence naturally leads to success. It sounds logical. If you're smart, you should make better decisions, solve problems faster, and create better opportunities. But real life doesn't always work that way. Intelligence helps you understand things. It doesn't automatically help you do things. There is a huge difference between knowing and acting. Many smart people become experts at learning. They read books, watch videos, listen to podcasts, and consume endless amounts of information. Their understanding grows every day, yet their results remain unchanged. The reason is simple. Knowledge creates potential. Action creates results. The world rewards execution far more than understanding, and many intelligent people spend so much time preparing that they never begin. The need to have the perfect plan. One of the biggest reasons smart people stay stuck is their desire for certainty. Before taking action, they want the perfect strategy, the perfect timing, the perfect opportunity, the perfect conditions. Unfortunately, perfect conditions rarely exist. People who move forward often begin before they feel completely ready. They understand something powerful. Clarity usually comes after action, not before it. Think about learning to drive a car. You can study driving manuals for years, but at some point you must get behind the wheel. The same principle applies to almost every meaningful goal. You don't learn business by endlessly researching business. You don't become confident by reading about confidence. You don't improve your life by planning your life forever. At some point, action becomes the teacher. Smart people are often excellent at seeing potential problems. This can be useful, but it can also become a serious disadvantage. When faced with a new opportunity, they immediately identify risks, weaknesses, obstacles, possible failures. Their minds generate dozens of reasons why something may not work. Meanwhile, someone less analytical simply starts. The smart person remains stuck evaluating. The less analytical person gains experience. Months later, the beginner has developed real-world knowledge while the overthinker is still considering possibilities. This doesn't mean thinking is bad. It means thinking without action becomes a trap. The purpose of thinking is to support action, not replace it. Fear often hides behind intelligence. Many people assume smart individuals are held back by complexity. Often, they're actually held back by fear. Not obvious fear, subtle fear. Fear of failure. Fear of embarrassment. Fear of looking foolish. Fear of proving themselves wrong. Highly intelligent people often build part of their identity around being competent. Because of this, failure feels especially threatening. If you've spent years being viewed as smart, capable, or talented, making mistakes can feel uncomfortable. As a result, some people unconsciously avoid situations where failure is possible. But success and failure travel together. Every meaningful achievement involves uncertainty. The people who grow are not fearless. They simply become willing to act despite uncertainty. The comfort of potential. Potential feels good. People often praise intelligence, talent, and promise. You've probably heard statements like, "You have so much potential. You could do anything if you wanted to. You're incredibly smart." The problem is that potential can become addictive. Potential requires no risk. Reality does. As long as your dream remains in your head, it stays perfect. The moment you act, reality enters the picture. Now you face challenges, setbacks, criticism, and mistakes. Many people unconsciously choose potential over progress because potential protects their self-image. They can always tell themselves, "I could succeed if I really tried." Years pass, nothing changes. Potential remains. Results never arrive. Another reason smart people stay stuck is comfort. Success is often portrayed as difficult, but comfort can be equally dangerous. Comfort doesn't feel like a problem. It feels safe, predictable, familiar. That's exactly why it can hold people back. Many people don't stay stuck because they hate their situation. They stay stuck because their situation is just comfortable enough. The pain isn't strong enough to force change. The risk of growth feels larger than the discomfort of staying where they are. As a result, months become years, years become decades, and eventually they wonder where the time went. Why progress matters more than perfection. One of the most important lessons successful people learn is that progress beats perfection. Perfection is an impossible standard. Progress is achievable every day. Imagine improving just 1% each day. That improvement seems insignificant in the moment, but over time, small gains compound. A better habit, a better decision, a better skill, a better mindset. These tiny improvements create massive changes over months and years. The people who move forward rarely make giant leaps every day. They simply keep moving. Consistency often outperforms intelligence. Action creates confidence. Many people wait to feel confident before taking action, but confidence rarely works that way. Confidence is usually the result of action. Think about any skill you've developed. You weren't confident at the beginning. You became confident through repetition. Every action creates evidence. Every small win reinforces belief. Every challenge overcome increases self-trust. This is why waiting for confidence can keep people stuck indefinitely. Action comes first. Confidence follows. The momentum principle. One reason some people seem unstoppable is momentum. Momentum makes difficult things easier. Getting started requires energy. Continuing often requires less. Imagine pushing a heavy object. The first movement is the hardest part. Once it begins moving, maintaining progress becomes easier. Life works similarly. The hardest step is often the first one. Smart people frequently underestimate the power of momentum. They focus on designing perfect systems. Successful people focus on creating movement. Once movement begins, opportunities appear. New information emerges. Skills develop. Confidence grows. The path becomes clearer. Many people believe major transformation requires major action. In reality, significant change often begins with surprisingly small steps. A single conversation, a single habit, a single decision, a single hour invested differently. The challenge is that small actions feel insignificant. People want dramatic breakthroughs, but life often rewards consistency instead. The future is built through repeated decisions, not isolated moments. Every day offers a chance to move slightly closer to the life you want. The people who understand this rarely stay stuck for long. The better question. Many people ask, how do I become successful? A more useful question is, what is keeping me from moving forward right now? The answer is often surprisingly simple. Perhaps it's fear, overthinking, comfort, perfectionism, lack of action, waiting for certainty. Once you identify the obstacle, progress becomes easier. You stop trying to solve every problem at once. Instead, you focus on the next step, and often that's all that's required. The possibility most people miss. One of the most powerful ideas in personal growth is this: your future is not determined by your current situation. It's influenced by your current decisions. Many people assume that because they feel stuck today, they will remain stuck tomorrow. But progress can begin surprisingly fast. Not because circumstances magically change, because decisions change. A different habit, a different mindset, a different action. Over time, those small changes create entirely different outcomes. The future is rarely transformed in a single moment. It is transformed through repeated choices. Final thoughts. Smart people don't stay stuck because they lack intelligence. They stay stuck because intelligence alone isn't enough. Knowledge matters, planning matters, understanding matters, but action matters most. The people who move forward are not always the smartest. They are often the ones willing to start before they're ready, act despite uncertainty, learn through experience, accept imperfect progress, keep moving when others hesitate. If you feel stuck right now, remember this: you probably don't need more information. You may simply need more movement. The next step doesn't have to be perfect. It only has to be taken. Because the distance between the life you have and the life you want is often smaller than it appears. And sometimes the only thing standing in the way is the decision to begin. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to Wealth Code for more insights on wealth psychology, personal growth, freedom, progress, and building a better future.